So let's get things started. Welcome to a peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Pound Deep Rooted. Let's get it. Yeah. So good to be back with you all, just to keep that consistency going and to get some things out and kind of learn with my people, learn together. So hopefully everybody, comment on as much as we have coming out. Like, comment, and subscribe on everything that we come out with. It's definitely not unnoticed and it's definitely appreciated. So thank you all. This podcast is going to be based on resources, and I want to pretty much just come to you all, share some things that I'm working on currently and some things that help me out currently that will continue to help me out throughout my journey to this righteous path, on my journey to be my best self possible, which is really what this podcast is all about: sharing and receiving wisdom and experiences to take with us on our everyday journeys to be our best selves, to be our complete self. And today is going to be based on resources. The main resource that I want to kind of touch on is books. Plenty of them. I have a whole stack of books, which I feel is the main resource, right? If you don't read, at one point, that was the only way to get our knowledge and our resources and information that we wanted on the world. There wasn't always the internet, right? So we are spoiled. With that being said, reading is still fundamental, right? Fundamental. Eddie Griffin gave me a quote that I heard, and he said it's fundamental, but he said it's fun to mental, right? It's the basis. So reading and writing is the basis to understand and to learn and to grow. So for my people that don't read out there, there's always other options as well. And to my people who know, read was the first revelation that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received from God himself, right? Read. Before he received the Holy Quran, he received read. And what makes this is very interesting, right, is that he wasn't able to read or write. The Prophet Muhammad was actually illiterate before he became the prophet and got his revelations from God throughout the 27 years that the Holy Quran was came about. So read, that's the foundation of a movement, foundation of knowledge, foundation to everything that we know as today, reading, right? So that's pretty much just a testament of what we are capable of. For somebody who got a command and a suggestion from God to read before he even knew how to read, and before he knew his journey to get as many people as possible and make the whole world to a righteous and upright path, he got the command to read before he knew how to read. So that just shows that what we capable of and where we can start and how we can become our full and complete selves as people in this life and this time. Okay. So my first book that I want to kind of get into is the Holy Quran, right? This is one of the main resources. Another one, the Holy Bible. And then we also got other religious texts as well, other spiritual texts, but these are your foundations. You can read 1 million books that you're going to read. You can do what you want to do, but if you don't have that spiritual awakening, that spiritual resurrection, these are the foundations to your reading. This has every problem, answer, and solution that you can think of. No matter what that problem is, these books have them. So read the Holy Quran from start to finish, as well as the Holy Bible, and also dive deeper and get understanding of too. Go to some study groups, some things that's going on around your city. At my mosque that I go to, Muhammad Mosque number 18 here in Cleveland, Ohio, we do a study group every Wednesday, and we practice these dear teachings here, and they can be very powerful for any individual. And I wanted to actually add, before I get into any more books, I wanted to let everybody know that if you're not a really huge reader or a fan of reading, then we have audio books as well, right? So you pretty much can listen just while cleaning up or doing some activity, or you can listen and follow along in your book, that will help you as well. Because you have to start somewhere, right? Don't be scared of doing something that you don't know how to do. Just start somewhere, and God will take care of the rest, right? And then sometimes that you think you can read, the times you can read is you can read in the morning time, which is the best time you're focused anyway. You can read bathroom breaks. You can read on your lunch break. Pretty much any time that you are on your phone and you are aimlessly scrolling, that would be a wonderful time to read. And think about how much more beneficial it would be for you to read in place of a different habit, a bad habit, or a habit that you can't get rid of. Just imagine if you read and learned in substitutions to that, and think how much more you will grow. And we can have as much time as possible to grow. We can grow unlimited time to grow, right? And that gets me into my next book, The Message to the Black Man in America. And though it says black man, this is for women as well, right? So The Message to the Black Man in America, this is a foundation piece right here. This will awaken any dormant brain or anybody that's missing that piece and just wandering carelessly on this earth, and you have no vision and don't know where to go. This is for all my original people of the earth, and all people, for that matter, need to read this foundational piece from by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. It has some things that we may have never been taught, never was told before he came about. So you're going to have a lot of questions, and you're going to question a lot of these things, but that's a good thing. When you have questions and you have to go find the answers, then you will awaken to new knowledge that's out there, and it couldn't get no better than this foundational piece here, with a foundation in spiritual, with a foundation in God. I thank a lot to this man, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and this is a wonderful book that anybody can read. Another book is How to Eat to Live. I don't have that book because I have bought that book numerous times, and I also gift that book to others. So we have How to Eat to Live by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, book 1 and book 2. And this gives you the diet by God himself, God's diet, the natural diet in order for you to be the best person you can be. So our physical is related to our mental and our psychological. And we'd be surprised by how the food and the things we put into our body and on our body can affect our mental and psychological. And that's a foundational piece for anybody to grow as a person and anybody to advance and go to that next step as a person. Watch we put in our body, because it affects our brain, it affects our mind, it affects our psychological, and it goes hand to hand with our spiritual as well. So How to Eat to Live, books 1 and book 2. Another foundational piece is Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert. This is a book that awakened me. So I felt like I was living life backwards as far as economically, as far as money, as far as how the world works, as far as what's the purpose in our everyday life. And this book introduced me to the rat race, which is similar to the Matrix, right? It questioned all the beliefs that I had growing up, especially in a low socioeconomic environment, especially in the hood where I'm from. It made me question all the things that I was taught and all the things I believed in. And this was the first piece that got me into my entrepreneurship, got me into my awakening, got me into questioning certain things that society puts place onto us, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad. I recommend this book to everybody. It's like one of my favorite books ever. Another book we have is Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity by Queen Afua. This is a book that goes hand in hand with How to Eat to Live. I learned a lot from both, and it goes down to the diet that we was used to before we was in this modern time, right? So it teaches you how to go and eat with the circadian rhythm of the earth, to eat with the earth, to eat with the sun. What us as original people have knowledge on for food and things we put into our bodies, and how to eat with the seasons, eat with the time of the year, eat at what time of the day is very powerful. It teaches a lot about health on top of things that we need to do spiritually and how it goes hand in hand as well. This is a wonderful book that I recommend anybody. She also has a wonderful book called Sacred Femininity, I believe. That's one of her first books, teaching the woman how to be in tune with our higher consciousness and higher self and become that God self. So wonderful. I applaud her. I love her. As a man thinketh, right? And then we have The Secret. These two books are very, very similar. It's talking about how what we think about, what we place our energy on, how it affects our everyday life, right? And whatever we think and that whatever we focus on and whatever we give our energy to is what will come about, is what will come into reality. So if you don't want to be broke, if you don't want negative things to happen to you, if you don't want these bad habits that you're used to, these bad people that you're used to, stop focusing on them. Think better thoughts, think good thoughts. Shout out to Ray Shine. In middle school, he started something called Think Good Thoughts. And I never forget, think good thoughts, because if you think good thoughts, then good things will happen. And this tells you how to get in tune with that and how to channel and how to bring to fruition everything that you actually want instead of all the things that you don't want, right? So these books are powerful. The Secret, and we have As a Man Thinketh, very legendary books as well. Malcolm X Autobiography. This is, I wouldn't know about How to Eat to Live. I wouldn't know The Message to the Black Man in America. I wouldn't know anything about the Nation of Islam, anything about just being in tune with yourself. This inspired me in high school. I read it in high school. I don't think I finished it, but then I also double backed on it and finished it in my adulthood. And this inspired me just to be great. Somebody also told me recently, Brother Dante, shout out to Brother Dante. He told me something that kind of set with me. He told me that like he was also focusing on not just learning how to be your complete self and also learning from God and learning from these wonderful resources that we have, but also studying people and studying greats that came before us so we can learn from them, take some things from them and take it in our everyday lives. So I kind of like take a page from that book, and this is something that I think falls in line with that. So Autobiography of Malcolm X, this was wake anybody up. This has nothing but truth in it. His teacher was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, but just his journey, his experiences of how he started being Detroit Red, being called Satan in prison, and then coming to supreme teachings and the supreme wisdom that he came about from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and how he became one of our most renowned figures, one of our biggest figures in history in times, of how he went straight forward and no chase, no corners crossed. He became one of the best individuals that he could be, and this gives his journey. So the Autobiography of Malcolm X, also other autobiographies of people's prominent people in the world is good to study. I have a book called The Elevation of Consciousness. So he has book 1, book 2. This is by Zaylock 23. This was in the beginning of my spiritual journey. This is one of the first books that I actually read was in 22. I talked about it a little bit in my last video. The beginning of 2020 is when I first started to eat differently. I changed my diet. I changed the products that I use for my hair and my skin and things I put it on my body as well as in my body. When I cut out the news, I cut out all the things that I thought was keeping me in this rat race, right? In this circle. And I wanted to be in tune with my complete self and that potential that I knew was there. So this is kind of like what also I first came about on that journey. So Elevation of Consciousness, which you have a one, and you have another one, which is about the second one, I believe, is African spirituality and higher consciousness. I believe that's what it's about. But this is a wonderful, wonderful book to get in tune with your spirit, get in tune, just to start you off, a little guide to push you out on that way to your higher self, your higher consciousness, and become the best person that you want to be. My next book is about productivity and being very efficient and being the most efficient that you want to be and could be. So the 5 a.m. Club, this is a book that I just came about this year, but this is a book that didn't go against any of my morals, any of my values, but aligned perfectly with that. Starting with the 5 a.m. clubs, waking up at 5 a.m., making your prayer, being the most productive that you could be. But not only being the most productive you could be, but just channeling and taking advantage of your glory hour, right? The hour that you could be the most productive you could be, when you first wake up, when you not feeling it, or most people are sleeping. You can get more done when most people are sleeping before they even wake up than 75-80% of the world. So they teach you how to get in tune with that higher power self, that higher being, make the most of your productivity and efficiency, and just really capturing your dreams and your goals, and having a systematic way, a thought out way, a very intentional way of doing that. This is one of my top books. I read this book this year, but this is top 5 books, hands down. This is up there with the spiritual books, because this is also in touch with very spiritual concept that doesn't interfere with anything you have going on, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Israelite, Jew, no matter what your faith base is. This kind of in tunes falls right along with that, and teach you how to just capture that and capture all of your main structures of your life, and to lead you on a success route. So this is a wonderful book. And I got a couple more books that I'm going to give you all. And after I give y'all books, I'm going to kind of just give you some insight and some things on how to best read and just have a overall structure to life, right? So the 10X rule, this is a good one. Kind of goes in line with some of the other books that I have. I read this book, I think, more than once. I read this book twice. This teaches you how to go to the next level, and whatever goals and dreams you have. It teaches you how to think big, 10X it, right? Really multiply whatever your goals and dreams are by 10. So if you want a house, multiply by 10. Get 10 houses. You deserve it. We are capable of it. We all have the same 24 hours, and it teaches you how to just get in tune and channel that and get with that. So the 10X rule is a wonderful book, and it teaches you how to just think big, believe in yourself, believe in the things that you have, and it teaches you the difference between success and failure. And this is a -- 1 seller, and I like this book too. We have the 4-Hour Workweek. This is a book on pretty much how you be productive and efficient, and it teaches you how to work smarter, not harder. It teaches you how to pretty much take advantage of the system that we live in, use the tools that we have at our disposal, and teach you how some of the most successful people do it, and how you don't just waste time doing things that doesn't matter and doesn't go towards your goals, but it teaches you how to really take advantage and do your goals, but being the most productive and efficient with your goals, right? So instead of focusing on just mundane tasks that doesn't really matter and doesn't add to your most potential self, it doesn't add to your biggest goals and dreams. It teaches you how to actually shift your focus on things that doesn't matter, and shift your focus on things that does matter, and how to be the most productive and efficient. Whether that's a 9-to-5 or whether that's a business or entrepreneurship life, it teaches you how to really get the tools and shortcuts to life in the most productive, efficient way, because there is no shortcuts per se, but it teaches you how to just rethink what that even means and kind of be the most productive you can be. Another book that we have is Think and Grow Rich. This is another one of those top books that you're going to find in most lists. Think and Grow Rich. It's kind of like the same as some of the other books. It teaches you how to rechange your focus, get in tune with your deepest and greater self, how to pretty much bring to life anything that you focus on, and make you focus on the things that you actually want, and how to capture that. And it teaches you on how anybody can capture it. If you want to be rich, if you want to be rich in spirit, if you want to be rich in monetary value, it teaches you how to focus on that and actually become obsessed with that and focus on it every single day. Whatever it is that you want, focus on it. Being intentional every single day and every single moment that we have to do that, so you can capture it. And you're not born with these things. Anybody can do it. Anybody can possess these things, and it teaches you how to actually get in tune with that self, that higher conscious self, and capture whatever it is that you want, because we can capture anything we want to do in this world, right? And those are some of my main books. I have plenty of books that I read. I love to read. A fun fact is CEOs and rulers and top dogs of companies, they read around 60 books a year. So start somewhere. If you don't read, just got to start somewhere, right? Audio books is good. You can just listen to things, or you can listen to summaries. YouTube University always never failed us. And the way I would go about of reading in just everyday life is just having some type of routine and structure, right? And your routine and structure is pretty much how you determine your discipline. Discipline will get you through anything in life, and it will start you off on an unrighteous or an unstraight path, or a not so good path to upright and walking in your purpose. Discipline can help anybody. And so that means you have to just have a morning routine, right? You have to have a daily routine. You have to have a weekly schedule, changing your diet, working on your hobbies and habits, and your so-called free time, right? Free time is time to better yourself, to get in tune with your family, get in tune with God, and grow as an individual, working out. So just kind of different things to get in tune with your structure, your balance, your routine, and practice and discipline, whether that's a diet, working out, waking up at a certain time, reading, growing. There's so many ways to do that, but you have to work on discipline. You have to capture your discipline. You have to work on your routine, your daily schedule. And it's not going to happen overnight. And it's going to be a continuous battle. No matter where you start, it's going to be a continuous battle to that finished goal. And your finished goal is pretty much when you're done living on this planet, because you're never done growing. You're never done growing, right? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, and my brother, student minister Quran X, always reiterate this, that the biggest room in your house is the room for improvement, right? So that's the thing you need to focus on. As long as you're growing, as long as you're progressing each day, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, and you are in good company. You are in a good place to be if you just continue to grow, and that's all you need to do, right? Another thing that I would suggest, some wisdom I would share with people, is that receive counsel, right? Use others' mistake and other blueprints whenever you need it, right? You don't have to rewrite the script. It's a lot of great people that took the punches and took these bad things for us, so we don't have to do it. So when I started my Airbnb business, when I started my Turo business, which is the cars for Airbnb, I didn't go to somebody that didn't know the topic or the field. I went to a person that's been doing this for years. I pretty much took exactly what they did and kind of added my own juice and own blueprint on it. So shout out to my brother Taj, my alpha brother Taj. He taught me Airbnb, and he taught me somewhere to start, as well as a guy who taught me the Turo business, right? Pushman Mitch. And it just shows you that you don't have to rewrite the script. Use others. Hove said it. Hove did that, so you don't have to go through that, right? You don't have to rewrite the script. Just use others' mistakes and blueprint and take it on your own, and use other knowledge and add to that and become an expert in any field that you want to become it. So finish this strong. So other things I would say that can help us out, and no matter what we do, some things that can help us out is that the different resources that we have, as well as YouTube University and Google. Whenever somebody say they don't know how to do something, my first thought is you can learn how to do it, right? No one start off knowing how to do something. They just learn to do it. Anybody who's an expert in any field, they had to start somewhere, right? And if you need a start or need a resource to start, YouTube University never failed anybody. Google. You'll have to be satisfied with not knowing something, right? We have knowledge at our fingertips. We literally have computers and high-tech devices in everyday life that anybody can use, right? So if you don't know the knowledge, then you can just easily find the knowledge, find the help, or find the context and other resources that can get you in that place, or know whatever that field may be. Google and YouTube can lead you in that path, right? So YouTube University and Google is another major resources that we have, major resources. And One thing, if I had some wisdom to leave you all with today, I wrote some stuff down so I can keep it on track. Um, it's been a question that I've pretty much been asking people at different points, especially like some people that I can learn from or some of my elders or people that's older than me is pretty much like if you could give any advice to your younger self or a young individual, what would it be? And I thought about that, right? So my advice that I would give is get in tune with your spiritual, whatever that may be to you. Start somewhere. Some people feel like they are far from that, or they too unrighteous, or too not in the headspace to get there. But you have to start somewhere, right? I feel like just start small. Talk to the Creator. You don't have to have it structured. Oh God, it's not. Just talk to Him how I'm talking to you and how others talk to others, right? How you talk to anybody that you feel is a close person to you. Just talk to Him how you talk to God the same way. Talk to the Creator the same way. And just ask for certain things and get in tune with the spiritual, right? I feel like you only can go so far with material assets and material values. You can have $1,000,000, but if you're not in tune with your soul, if you don't have that spiritual foundation, then you still will be slightly empty. It will be a part of you that is missing. So get in tune with your spiritual, right? Another advice would be unapologetically you. I tell this to my students all the time. Be you. Okay? Don't be what your parents want you to be. Don't be what society wants you to be. Be unapologetically you. Whatever that is that you want to do and complete, we only have one life to do it. So please do it now. Don't wait till 20 years and you look back, I wish I did this. Just do it now. Right? Rest in peace to my dean, one of my mentors that was with me for a long time, Brother Tyran. Tyran always said this to his neophytes, and that was, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you got a hater, they're going to hate anyway. You got somebody that's not with you, they're going to be not with you anyway. So damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? So you don't have to confine into society norms. Be whoever it is that you want to be. Don't take your family actions to heart. Don't take your society actions to heart or your thoughts to heart. Have your own thoughts. Don't let your environment determine you. Don't let your friends determine you. Don't let your family determine you. Don't let your circumstances determine you, your present or your future, because you have the power to change that. And that's all I have for you all today. Hopefully some of these things that you can take with you on your normal day to day, right? And if I had to reiterate anything, it would be first and foremost reading and writing. Even you journaling, writing, those are fun to the mental. So just start somewhere. If you're not really big writers, big readers, start off with audiobooks. Start off just listening, right? Listening is still the same. You can follow along in the books, or you can just listen for now. Then you can open up a book and start somewhere, and you can read along with them. Then you can start reading on your own. So reading and writing, journaling your thoughts, being structured, write down some of your goals, write down your feelings and emotions, kind of just making sense of them all. That will be a good resource and foundation, right? Some of my favorite books I showed you all, so rewind it, screenshot it, clip it up. These are wonderful books that anybody can take on with them in day-to-day life to become their highest self, to capture that full potential. The other things I pretty much was saying was routine and structure, right? Working on discipline, having a morning routine, having a weekly schedule, a monthly schedule, working out, having a certain diet, just doing different things, new habits, new hobbies, rearranging your free time, not just aimlessly scrolling all the time, but going outside, going for walks, just replacing bad habits and bad things with new habits and new things. And it's not going to happen overnight. Give yourself patience, give yourself grace, but you have to pretty much just start somewhere. So start off with one thing. Maybe just eliminating pork from your life. Eliminating bread. Just eliminate one thing out your diet. And then just start off with just waking up and doing 20 push-ups. And then 20 push-ups will maybe turn into 50 push-ups. And 50 push-ups will turn into 100 push-ups. But just starting somewhere, because you have to be intentional about your goals. You can't just expect change or want change and then don't do anything about it. So you have to just start somewhere. This is a journey that I'm on. This is hopefully a journey that everybody can be on. We all have the power to do it. We all have the same 24 hours, so let's do it together. To my deep-rooted family. The other resources I had was just get counsel and use other mistakes and others' blueprint when needed in order to capture whatever it is that you want to capture, whatever goal that you is, or whatever field that you want to become an expert in. Study those individuals in that field. The Richest Man in Babylon. That's another book that I don't have because I gave away. That's up there with the Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's up there with Message to the Blackman. That's one of my top 5 books as well. I can't believe I even missed it. Richest Man in Babylon. And what made me think about that is one of the things that I teach you on is it get counsel from good men. So, for example, if you want to sell gold and make a fortune from gold, you don't go to somebody who sells cows. You don't go to somebody who sells cars. You go to an expert in the gold industry, somebody who's been selling gold for 10 years, 20 plus years. You go to that individual and you relate that to any field or anything that you want to grow or learn. You go to the expert in that field and you use their blueprint, you use their knowledge, and you gain from multiple people in that field, and you become an expert in that field from others, and you can cut the time in half. You can have a accelerated course on whatever it is that you want to learn, right? YouTube University and Google are some of the biggest resources that we have. That's how you use your phone. That's how you use your internet. That's how you use the laptops, the computers. Anything that you want information on, anything that you want to learn, anything that you don't know how to do, YouTube will actually demonstrate and show you. Google will tell you how to do or lead you to whatever it is that you want to do. You can't go wrong with this. This is how you start anything. You have to start somewhere. If you don't know how to do something, you don't have knowledge on something, go get the knowledge and start somewhere on it, right? And then also just kind of getting in tune with your spiritual. You have to get in tune with God. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that we are all born righteous. We are all born of God. We are all born in complete submission to the Creator. It's just when we go through this course of life is when we change. So get in tune with your spiritual self, your spiritual being, the higher power, the Creator, God, and just starting somewhere, whether that's a conversation, whether that's cleaning up your diet, whether that's getting in tune with your mental, psychological, just good habits and good thoughts can lead you to the Creator, and being in tune with the Creator and ultimately submitting the Creator and dedicating your life to it will make you the best individual that you can be. Being unapologetic to yourself and not taking your environment, your thoughts, your family, your friends, your circumstances, and letting it determine your future and your present. Don't let the past determine your future and present. The past is the past. Learn from it, grow from it, and be and do whatever it is that you want to do. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. And that's all we have today for our deep-rooted family. Pound deep-rooted family. Thank y'all for listening to me. Thank y'all for growing with me. Thank y'all for just being an ear to anything that I have to give out to the world. I just kind of go off spirit, go off wherever God has for me. And I just share with y'all. This is about sharing experiences, receiving also information, experiences, and just growing together, being the best individual that you can be in all aspects of life, whether that's fitness, whether that's spiritual, whether that's business, whether that's economics, money. It's so many different aspects to yourself, faith, meditation. It's just growing to the best version of yourself, doing it with the most productive spirit, with the most efficient spirit, and just being that higher conscious, higher being that we all are capable of being. So let's do it together. Pound deep-rooted family. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Hopefully God, blesses y'all with the light of understanding and just receiving what I have for y'all. Peace and blessings to you all. Thank you. Peace.